Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 30-yard line.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Hey, we're good, we're good. You want it, 6-18.
Now Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Here's Carr. Being chased out left. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And picked up by the Chargers.
Well, let's be frank. You hate the fumble at the end of the play. But prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, zoom.
Following the fumble recovery, Wilcox. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not the cleanest of starts to this football game. Back-to-back plays yield turnovers in this first quarter.
So there's not much flow right now. A very choppy game. And I know this. It's a copycat league. We say it all the time about the NFL, but I'm not quite sure.
Giovanni Bernard, nothing but green grass. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Giovanni Bernard, an 80-yard touchdown, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Hauschka adds the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Finds his big tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Operating from the gun, Wilcox. He gets it to Gurley, complete. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
A first down run not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Gurley, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down.
Hey, box truck, box truck.
From the gun, Wilcox. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big gain of 38 there on 3rd down.
That's another Chargers first down. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Got it? 6. Mike, 56, right there, 56. Watch the out.
Now Gurley. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you try to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
To throw on 2nd down. Wilcox. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Mo Alley-Cox, his tight end. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
Let's go. 30 base. Smooth. Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Hey, lock it. Bring it. Slam, slam, slam. Go. 55. Go. Be driven.
Operating from the gun. Wilcox. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Demir Bird there to make the grab as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 3rd. Yard line.
Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
They start on the ground here with Bernard. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Express. Right now. We got to get the ball. Until you get the ball right here. Let's go.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Carr. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10 at the 45.
56. Go out.
Off the play fake. Wilcox. He'll get this into the hands of Bird. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the
60 outlaw. Right there, 56. Check the tight end. Check the tight end.
Off play action. Wilcox. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25, the 40, the 30, 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Now, I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Hauschka with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Charger drive about to get going. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time.
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Chargers 7.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now it's Gurley. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The Chargers on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Wilcox. Open man, it's Allen. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10.
55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike.
Operating from the gun, Wilcox. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. They try right side here, Gurley. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Check 26, check 26. Greystone, travel. Get it.
From the gun on 3rd down. Wilcox eluding the pressure right. He's got a man. It's Williams. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10.
Hey, Echo. 56. Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this. Ready, go.
From the gun, Wilcox. Got his man. It's Williams. Give him 12 yards there, and the Chargers have a 1st down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, right at the 40. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
At their own 3-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now Bernard. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. Casey Hayward makes the tackle.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll run it here with Bernard. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now! We're good.
On 3rd down, Bernard. And he will have the 1st down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
1st down, Raiders.
Down! Let's go. Let's get this ball
first down. Bernard. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Carr. And that'll be incomplete.
Carr's pass. Throwaway and incomplete. It's 3rd down. And 8 yards to go.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Shotgun now for Carr. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And taken right at the 35. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position.
Here we go. 60 or you draw forfeit. Jump. 5.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Damiere Byrd. Already his 2nd touchdown here this opening weekend. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Bernard. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 3rd down, Bernard. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 41-yard line.
Watch the slip. 694. 49 to Mike. I got Hey, Delta.
49, guys. Mike, 49. All you get is a headache.
On 2nd and 11 now. Carr. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 45-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Mike, what now? 29. 1, later 1. 84. Who's that 84? Check 84. Hey, alert 3. Check the backer.
General West. White.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Switch it. Come on, switch it. 808.
Throwing on first down is Carr. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
56.
Looking to throw. Wilcox. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. A big play there as the first half is winding down, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. The final shot here before half for Carr. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Let's go, baby.
Ready.
The Charger drive about to get going. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 38.
Mike's 56. Mike's 56.
Come down.
Operating from the gun, Wilcox. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Ramsey. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down, L.A. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's going to be caught. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Mo Alley-Cox, 27 yards. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, we're good, we're good. You ready?
Here I come again. Watch twist.
Right down.
The twist.
7:34. That's it.
From the gun, it's Carr. Got a man, it's Brown. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A gain of 13, it's a 1st down. That catch, number 750 of his NFL career, and it puts him even with not just one but 2 Hall of Famers, Michael Irvin and Charlie Joyner. So some pretty good company at 750.
Hey, you talk about the playmaker, Michael Irvin, and the guy who just made plays, Charlie Joyner. And that's what we're seeing here. Similar style in terms of being dependable, being open, and turning it into plays that you remember.
It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. On the tackle, it was the West Virginia man, Kaiser White. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
59 Mike, 59 Mike. Check, 59. Come on, boy.
Kill. You better be ready. Don't be scared.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. He gets it to Brown, complete. They just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4 at the Chargers.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll run again with Bernard. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They'll run on first down. Bernard, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Down. 180. 180. We're good. We're good. 280. Go Chief. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber. Hey, turn it up. Turn it up. No. Off. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Now a carry for Bernard.
Check 1-3.
And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. Towards the end zone for Brown. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Field goal forthcoming for Stephen Hauschka. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs to keep up with your theme there, playing keep away.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Cleveland Farrell able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Back to throw. Wilcox. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Maurice Hurst in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Coming in.
From the gun, Wilcox. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. On 4th down, Wilcox. And Allen's got it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Let's go now. 50, plant.
Check, 55 to Mike. Here we go, D.
Hit it.
They run. It's Gurley.
Switch.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this 4th quarter. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll try a handoff right with Gurley. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Hey!
56, right there, right there.
Hey, box drop, box drop.
Looking to throw. Wilcox. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sack back at about the 43-yard line. Credit the sack there to Arden Key. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 20-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Now Carr. Going for the deep ball. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
You're mine.
The Raiders do snap it. It's Carr. He's airing it out for Williams. And this will be caught at the 30. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
93.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
Hey, Charlie.
Carr to throw again. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Bernard churning, and he lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
On the ready.
The Charger drive about to get going. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
A big play there on the option. 42 yards. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Here's Gurley now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. This offensive line starting to win up front. You win that battle in the trenches, you can kind of wear them down here late.
So you bring in the second part to that equation, and that's the big running back, the big bruiser who can get more than what's blocked and break a few extra tackles and gain yardage.
Operating from the gun. Wilcox to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Watch twins. Watch twins. 56.
2nd and 5. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Snags it for the pick. And the return won't go anywhere. They'll be back deep in their own territory at the 2-yard line. 2-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Tim Williams makes the tackle.
And while they hope to continue this drive, it's really already mission accomplished. They've given enough space now that if they have to punt the ball, they've done so with that first run.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Carr. Escaping the pressure right. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Uchenna and Wosu got the sack there. One final try now for Carr. And he's got Moncrief. And they work this out past the 25.
We got this.
So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason, but now I'm listening to you. So for the home team here, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Big numbers, 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted.